have an issue with my Sony 5100 compared to the 6500. The 6500, which you guys are watching on now, has the capability to have an external microphone, which makes everything sound so much better, but I can't see myself, and so sometimes things get out of focus. I don't even think I'm shooting this in 4K. So I don't know what's in focus and what's not in focus. So that's why I've been using the other Sony 5100 camera so I could see my damn self, but then people were complaining about the audio. I'm like, I can't win. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. So Instagram recently, over the week, this past week, has made this new update where people can now ask questions. I think some people thought that it was anonymous at first, and it's not, but like to me, whoever sends it to me, I can see it. But if you post the question asker remains anonymous. And it's become like those back in the old day things where I guess maybe even Tumblr too, but like there used to be these things way back in the day where they were just anonymous question askers and you would post the answers on your little profile or something. I don't really know why we've gone back to this, but everybody's Instagram story has been 97 pages long of answering these anonymous questions, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting that on my story. So when I put the ask me question box, I saved the majority of the answers, and I figured since I have not done a Q&A in quite some time, that I would make it into a Q&A, and then I don't have to put it all over my story and be annoying. So then I was actually going to make a video about like the ridiculous questions that I get, like my Instagram DM box. And then I was like, well, no, everyone's gonna give me hate for that, so I won't do that. But then I was like, well, I can make a whole video on hate comments. I was like, no, let's not do that. So here we are with the Q&A, and I'm gonna start with the first question. And yes, these are actual questions that I get. I'm not making them up. I am taking them off a screenshot that I took from Instagram. First question: what should I do if I want to become really strong apart from strength training? You need to make sure that you're eating enough, and consistency and time. What is your favorite TV show? I have to say it's a close tie between Chopped, Beat Bobby Flay, My 600 Pound Life, and Lost in Transition. How can I tell if I am in too much of a deficit? In the last year, I've lost 80 pounds and it's hard to keep losing. I eat 1,400 calories. Why are these all nutrition? I should have known. I should have known. This isn't really a Q&A. This is gonna be like, I should title this fitness and nutrition Q&A. How can you tell if you're in too much of a deficit? Your weight loss is gonna be really like quick at first, and then it's gonna have an abrupt stop pretty much, and you're gonna stall out very quickly. So I'd say that, or like if you've been eating in a deficit for too long, that could also be another clue. Have you worked with those who have had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy? Yes, I have. I worked with I think 4 or 5, a very small handful, 4 or 5. Do the Junk Brands headbands fit tightly or do they slip at all? So the skinny headbands, I'm not personally a fan of those because I feel like they slip on me, but the regular size bigger headbands that you guys see me wear all the time, those don't slip on me at all, but I also wear them like lower. Like I don't put them super far back on my head. I put them kind of on my forehead a little bit, so maybe that helps, but I love the Junk Brands. The new summer collection that they just released is also very cute, and my code for them is just Mander. How many times a week do you work out, and do you do 2 days on all of those days? What the heck was that? Every week, it kind of rotates for my active recovery days on Thursdays. So basically, my schedule looks like this. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are 2-a-day sessions. Tuesday and Saturday are longer single sessions. Thursday, every other week, is either active recovery or full rest. I don't work out 6 days a week every single week in a row because that's just like too much. In active recovery, either swim, rowing, something really low intensity, and the next week is a complete rest. And then Sunday is a complete rest as well. And each of my sessions are broken up into lifting, like just strictly strength work, either deadlift, back squat, pressing, something like that. Olympic lifting, gymnastics, endurance conditioning. I think that's it. Gymnastics, endurance conditioning. And accessory. Why are people so rude to you? I don't know. People got really upset about the paper plate thing, and that like started like World War III on my Instagram. I don't know. What are your favorite knee band brands? What are your favorite knee band brand? think she means sleeves. My favorite knee sleeves are Unbroken Designs, and I just recently joined onto their team as well, which I'm so excited about because I've been wearing Unbroken Designs for literally years. So now my code is just Mander if you guys want to order on Unbroken Designs. And I like the Flower Power knee sleeves. I like those ones. And I have like a tie-dye pair as well, but I keep them in the garage for if I ever do workouts in the garage. My wife Tari has a huge crush on you. Could you send her a shout out in your video? Sup, Tari? How many people, oh, okay, that's an inappropriate one. We're gonna skip that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Career, fitness, relationship, etc. Oh my gosh, when I'm 30? Ugh, I don't know. I feel like I would love to be well established in my registered dietitian career, which is kind of a side note. I know this is already a question there, so I'm gonna answer it anyway. People ask me why I went back to school. And in order to become a registered dietitian in the state of Florida, your bachelor's degree has to be Ascend accredited. You can't just have like a regular bachelor's degree. So I had to go back to school, and so I'll probably be done within like a year and a half in order to take the test to become a registered dietitian. So in 5 years, I think that I would like to be doing something, maybe in a clinical setting, fitness. I would love to be on a team and go to regionals. I think that would be really, really cool. We're looking to put together a second team to go to regionals within the upcoming years, and so that would be really fun. And relationship-wise, I don't know. I think people ask me this too if I want kids. As of right now, I definitely don't want kids. I don't know. Like, I'm not at that point yet. Maybe I will be in my 30s, but like as of right now, I just don't have that like motherly desire, and there are some women who have that, and it's just not for me. What is your favorite healthy meal? Oh man, that's like way too generic. My favorite healthy meal. I'm gonna go with shrimp tacos. How can I add you to my fitness pal? Oh my gosh, this is a great question, and actually one that I get all the time on my YouTube comments. So in my fitness pal, you only have the ability to add 1,000 friends, like adding as friends. I've already reached that limit, and I seriously have like 6,000 friend requests in my fitness pal, but I can't accept them. So that being said, the username is Mander748, and you can view whatever you want to view, but you can't add me. How did you figure out which macros was best for you? I think that's kind of like a never-ending journey pretty much, because as you're going throughout your journey and you're reaching new goals and you're setting new goals, they're changing, they're constantly changing, and so you need to change your macros. Where I started years ago, my personal maintenance level was much lower than it is now because I didn't have as much muscle as I did back then. So when I started, in order to kind of like change my body composition, I started at maintenance, but it was closer to 1,800, 1,900 calories. And now my maintenance level is 23, sometimes depending, on the week, 2,400 calories. But I'm also a lot heavier. I have a lot more muscle now. So it kind of just depends. Depends on your goals. It depends on what's changing. Depends on kind of a lot of different things. How do you calculate what your macros should be? Again, this is kind of a generic question because you can't just like calculate macros like off the top of your head and it'd be good for everything. I think that's also a very personal thing. So some people are, deficient in iron, and some people are deficient in potassium. If you don't know what you're deficient in, I would say as a safe bet, just go with what the FDA recommends on MyFitnessPal. You can't really go wrong with that. Some people who have GI issues, they may need more or less fiber. Again, it kind of just depends on what your personal needs are, but if you don't know what they are, then I'd say just stick to the basics. This is a good one. What is the worst macro counting misconception? I think there's a couple. I think the first one would be that you can copy someone else's macros and get their results. I think a lot of people on Instagram, on social media in general, they're always asking what somebody else's macros are. They're like, well, if I do that, I'm gonna look like them. And that could not be farther from the truth. So I would say that's probably the number one misconception. But then I also think that the number two misconception is as soon as you start tracking your macros or logging them, whatever you're starting with macros, people think that all of a sudden they're gonna just be super jacked and you're just gonna gain all this muscle or lose all this fat just because they entered it into MyFitnessPal. It's just, you have to realize that everybody eats macros because everybody eats. I think people forget that too. Like I had somebody ask me like, can I track macros if blah, blah, blah? And it's like, well, essentially everybody eats them. And by them, I mean protein, carbs, and fats. The only difference with tracking macros is like eating a specific amount of protein, carbs, and fats and then just logging it into an app. I think people like overcomplicate things too much. How long have you been doing CrossFit? So I started CrossFit in 2014, at the very end of 2014, and then I would say I got kind of like serious with it in 2015. So it's been just a little over 3 years now. School and work update. I kind of touched on the school update. That's still trucking along. Going to school Monday through Thursday. And work update, I am still working with Black Iron Nutrition. I know a lot of people have asked about getting on my wait list. As of right now, the wait list has quite a bit of people on it, which I feel very happy about it because I feel honored that so many people would love to work with me. But if you don't want to be on the wait list, Black Iron, we have so many great coaches. And if you go onto the website, you can actually now take a quiz that you answer like these specific questions, and then it will pair you with the best coach for you, which I think is so cool. So if you're not really into waiting on the wait list, you can definitely do the quiz and get paired with somebody else. And then maybe later on down the road, if you want to switch to me as a coach, that could be a possibility as well. Trader Joe's or Publix? Oh my gosh. So it's annoying because Trader Joe's has specific Trader Joe's items that I absolutely love. And then Publix has Publix only specific items that I absolutely love. So I feel like I can't pick because I go to Trader Joe's for certain items, but then I go to Publix for certain items. So I don't know. If I had to pick one or the other, I'd probably go with Publix just because I've been going to Publix for years. And I feel like you can get more of everything than you can at Trader Joe's. Are there days where you are hungry after finishing your macros, and how do you curb the hunger? This is a good question because I think this kind of depends on where you are with your goals at the current moment. When I was cutting for a weightlifting meet, the week of the meet was always the hardest because I just wasn't used to eating such a significant drop in macros. And yes, I was hungry after I finished them. Usually I'll just drink like a lot of water or a Zevia or something like that, and trying to stay on a consistent schedule is also really good for that as well. So for example, I would eat my last meal at 7:30 and then go to bed at 9:30. So it's not like you would eat your last meal and then be awake for 5 to 6 hours getting really hungry. So I think that's also good. But now I don't really have that problem because I'm not cutting for anything. I haven't cut since, I don't even know, whenever that last meet was in March maybe. So I haven't cut in quite some time. I don't really run into that problem now because I'm just maintaining. If I find myself like really hungry, I'll just go eat something afterwards. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting and training? This is kind of one of those touchy subjects. I think that once I posted my keto video, everyone kind of was asking about what about intermittent fasting? And it's kind of the same topic, right? So if it works for you and you find that for whatever reason, holding off until eating your first meal till the middle of the afternoon or whatever makes you be able to stick to your macros, makes you be able to make better choices, and you reach your goals better, then go for it. The only downside to it, and me personally why I don't do it, is just because I train really early in the morning, and the only time I can train fasted or just waiting to have breakfast after is when I have my really long endurance and gymnastics sessions, because it makes me feel sick if I have a big breakfast and then go do a bunch of running and burpees and muscle ups and things like that. So I kind of think that it depends on like your personal training schedule, how you feel without eating during training. There's just, there are studies, don't get me wrong, there are studies that support intermittent fasting as far as fat loss, but I feel like for the general public, the reason why people are successful with it is because they're holding off on eating for so long that the window that they are eating is significantly smaller. And so therefore they're not eating as much as they would in a 12-hour period as they are in a 4 to 6 hour period. So it's kind of forcing people to be in a deficit without them even realizing it, I guess. And so I think that's why a lot of people feel that it's successful in the sense of fat loss. But at the end of the day, if you are still eating in a surplus in that small period of, the window where you're supposed to eat, if you're eating in a surplus, you're still going to gain weight. So it depends on whatever your goals are. I personally don't love it just for the fact that I want to feel feel during my workouts. I want to feel energized. I don't want to feel tired. So I don't like it, but I think it can be great for people who really struggle with, you know, maybe grazing on food all day and they need like a set schedule of eating time. What makes you so motivated to work out? I like this question. I think being able to do things that I didn't think that I could do, and being stronger than I was before, feeling like I'm partaking in a team sport in a sense, because even when you're just taking like a CrossFit class workout, you're still doing it with everybody else, you know, and it feels good to do these things and to get stronger, get better, get healthier with other people, and also to motivate other people. Like, oh my gosh, I got a comment the other day on my Instagram from a 71-year-old lady who said that my videos inspired her to go to CrossFit, and she lost 18 pounds and she doesn't need her blood pressure medication anymore. And I was like, yes, I love it. I love stuff like that. So overall health, but I also think that training, CrossFit, anything that you like to do can also have a lot of similarities in life as well. And I think that comes from just like thinking that you can't do something, and once you push through it, you realize that you really can do it. You're stronger than you think you are. There's a lot of like good little life tidbits that I find in CrossFit that I really love. If CrossFit wasn't a thing, what other sport would you do? Ooh, gymnastics probably. I would definitely do gymnastics. Are you naturally a blonde? Yes, so it wouldn't be as bright and as like lighter ashy as this blonde. It would probably be more of a dark blonde, but I have been every hair color in the book, and I just feel like blonde suits me the best. And so I just went back to blonde. Favorite CrossFit movement? My favorite CrossFit movement, I have to say, is bar muscle ups. But then like weightlifting side of things, I'm gonna go with snatch. So I think that is where I'm going to wrap up this fitness nutrition related Q&A. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Maybe I will do another one on my Instagram and compile the questions again for a different topic, maybe like a specific topic Q&A. So let me know what you think. I know I haven't done one in a while, so if you guys enjoy these videos, let me know, give the video a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.